Welcome to this evening's meeting of the Planning, Development and Licensing Committee. I would like to invite everyone present. If you hear a long continuous siren, this is the fire alarm. Please don't pack up your belongings. You should leave the building through the nearest and safest exit, by the back of the office through the police stairwell. If this route is blocked, you should exit the building through the main marble staircase. When exiting the building, proceed up the ramp and turn right. All attendees should congregate at the rear of the top car park, where a register will be taken. Wait until you are told it is safe to re-enter the building. If you're a councillor, we have added you to the register. If you're a visitor and have not signed the register, please do so now. Additionally, whilst the fire alarm is sounding, do not use the lift to exit the building. Can I please remind everyone to put your phones on silent and put phones away for the duration of the meeting, thereby avoiding the interference from the iPad and with the microphone. The meeting will be recorded and live streamed on YouTube, and therefore, when speaking, please remember to speak clearly. As the chair of the meeting, I have the discretion to terminate or suspend recording and live streaming if, in my opinion, continuing to do so would be prejudiced to the proceedings of the meeting. Recording and live streaming of confidential items will also not take place. To alert me, as the chair of the meeting, I would like to speak. Please raise your hand and wait for me to call upon you before speaking. Please remember, if you leave for the meeting for any reason, you will not be able to take part in the vote on the item that is being discussed at that time. Members of the public will be able to view the live stream on our meeting via YouTube. Please can I request that when speaking, you make your points as succinct as possible to allow for a smooth running of the meeting. Can I also take the opportunity to remind you to be polite and treat each other with respect at all times? Thank you. Okay. Is there any public speakers? No, there's not. Okay. So the first item is apologies. Have we got any apologies for this evening?
Councillor Ed Furman, Chair.
Councillor Leicester.
Yeah, Leicester and Councillor Isaac. The next item is declaration of interest. Is there any interest? Anybody? Councillor Tooth?
Yes, Chair. On item 9, which contains application 38250023, which is an application in my ward. I've spoken to numerous residents about this application, and if it's okay with you, I'm speaking my concerns about it when we get to it, but I probably have shown my support to residents against this, so I may have negated my ability to vote, which is fine, if you understand, Chair.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. Is there any other interest in the room? No. Okay, great. The next item is the minutes. To approve and sign the correct minutes from the previous planning meeting held on 23rd of January. Has anybody got any issues with those previous minutes? Okay, so could I get a proposal, please? Councillor Tully, could I get a seconder? Councillor Tooth, you're right.
Don't know if I was there. Was I there? Was it once before?
We still vote.
Okay. Could I get a seconder, please? Sustainable. Thank you. If we go to the vote, please. Thank you. That's carried. Thank you. The next item is the forward plans. Members to note the planning, development and licensing forward plan. Has everybody had a chance to have a look at this forward plan? Yeah, are we happy? Is there any issues? Okay, so support the forward plan. Could I get a Marks?
Sorry. Thank you, Chair. Just there was a meeting today with the representative from Pulse Smart Hubs, which you had a last presentation on last April.
Yeah.
I've sent around a summation of the meeting to yourself and Councillor Furman. I don't know whether that's something that you want to bring back to a future committee to discuss, or
to discuss the pulse of the next planning meeting. Is that correct?
well, it doesn't have to be in the next planning committee. It could be at one subsequent to that, or whether you're happy with the. I mean, it's just happened this afternoon, so it might be better for you and Ed to go away and have a think about it before.
Yeah.
I'm happy to share with the wider committee actually.
Yeah, that's exactly that. Yeah, that'd be great, please. Okay, so to support the full plan, could I get a proposal, please? Councillor Hughes, could I get a second, please? Councillor Stainforth, could we go to the vote, please? That's carried, thank you. The next item is response to letter on housing development. Marcus.
Thank you, Chair. So hopefully you've had a chance to look at the letter that's attached to the agenda. It is a response from the Somerset Council, the executive member, following the discussion that was had at your September committee meeting with Brian Markham, the former chair of Commissioner Parish Council. So we've had a reply to the points raised by Councillor Solly in the letter. And, yeah, happy to take any questions. Thank you.
To be honest, on this letter, I was actually was happy with the response. There was nothing really that highlighted much to me. Did anybody else have any comments? No. Okay. So I think with this letter, it makes sense. We know with this response. So for that, could I get a proposal, please? Councillor Tews, could I get a second, please? Councillor Stainforth, could we go to the vote? Thank you, that's carried. And another one for Marcus, the Neighbourhood Development Plan Working Group, to receive a verbal update from the corporate business manager, deputy clerk, on the latest discussion regarding this priority, next steps, and any proposed working group and the terms of reference.
Thank you, Chair. This might be a bit of a double act as well, because Brian was part of that meeting with the planning consultant. Obviously, you had a member briefing last summer on neighbourhood development plans, what it is that would be required for the town council to consider in terms of they wish to take this forward. I think it's been raised by councillors as one of your sort of ambitions on the list that was provided to us. As part of developing the corporate plan and the action plan for your 4-year term of office. So we sort of reconnected with Stuart now that the new Labour government is in a bit more settled in. So I think there were some question marks last summer around the future of neighbourhood planning and whether there will be funding and obviously the changes to the planning legislation. But it sounds as if that they will be continuing that piece of legislation, etc., and the ability for town and parish councils to make these documents. It was quite an interesting meeting. I think there's sort of 3 key things you sort of came away from us to go away and check with Somerset Council that that we could designate the area of Taunton fully, because we do know that there are existing neighbourhood plans that cover parts of the Taunton area that, from the previous parish areas that were taken in. So he said, yeah, there are people at Somerset who have experience such as Ambrose that would be good to have a conversation with, start the ball rolling with that. I think he said, the consultation with the community is going to be key, isn't it, in terms of taking them along with you, because there's a referendum aspect to this at the end of the day. We want to make sure that after you do a body of work over the 2-year period, that you don't get to the end of it and the community say no. And so to that end, I sort of created a sort of draft working group template that should be in front of you this evening. I'm happy to take any questions or feedback or steer on whether that's the kind of thing that would be suitable. It looks like other town and parish councils have used that working group steering group model to help spearhead a project like this. It will be quite a resource intensive project, so I would say to any councillor looking to serve on this that it could be quite a commitment, but hopefully I think they said that there's potential for others in the community with particular expertise to come in and obviously have some consultancy support as well on this. I don't know if you want to add anything.
No, I think you covered it, other than just to say that the expected time frame was sort of 18 months to 2 years. It's just worth knowing, isn't it, going into
I shan't come again.
Councillor Tully? I have to say, oh, Councillor Tully, go for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
No worries.
I'm interested in this, Chair. I've actually done this with Westmoreland and Jennifer's Plain Parish Council. It's a lot hard work, I can assure you. But if you want volunteers, I will volunteer. At least I know what I'm doing. Thank you.
Yeah, I have to just echo the same with Councillor Tully actually. I would say since becoming a councillor, obviously hearing about these neighbourhood plans, I think it's a really good way of actually getting the like Taunton Town Council themselves, in my opinion, the people on the street hearing from residents and what they would like to achieve in where they live, and also the outlook of what we'd like Taunton to be in the future. So by getting this neighbourhood plan together, it kind of gives us a good puts us in a good position to kind of, you know, achieve those finishes and kind of ideas, even if it's from an ecological purpose, or if it's just how houses are finished, or you know the size of the houses, or anything like that. I think it's really important. So I would actually like to put myself forward for this working group, 100%. And I'm just reading here as well. Members of the public can be invited to the working group as well. I also think this would be a really good thing to actually put forward to all councillors as well, because obviously there are people maybe with time restraints to when planning committee is on, say on a Thursday. You know, they may want to be part of this as well. So I think definitely if we open this up to broader horizon, I think probably fill that quite fast. I think. Councillor Stainford.
Yeah, just thinking about that, about having some people come in, you know, members of the public. There'll be some ex-councillors possibly who've been involved in doing plans before. A couple of people I think might be useful. If we could get people like that who've had experience, like Councillor Tully, on it. I think it'd be good for councillors to maybe get in touch with anyone like that they know as well, if we can.
Yeah, and I think the experience is key in this to make it efficient going forward, because there will be things that even ourselves probably wouldn't really know what might occur. And actually, with experience as a Councillor Tully, you know, you can kind of waver us in the right directions to, you know, not possibly make those slips. I can't see that would happen, but also I think with members of the public side of things, I definitely think with the working group, I guess would the working group work alongside with this committee as well? Is that right?
Yeah, yes, so this would be the parent committee, and then this working group would report back regularly to yourself on the progress of the working groups as a reference, and then I guess if there was a need to make any further decisions, they might need to go to full council from a recommendation.
Councillor?
Yeah, just to pick up on Councillor Stainford, I think there's, like Councillor Tully said, there's a lot of experience out there, and even if we can't persuade those people to commit time to joining the working group, maybe we can invite them along at regular periods, or at least at the start of the process for an hour if they're willing to do that rather than join to get their expertise input. That might be an approach rather than, you know, hopefully they'll join the group, but if there's people with experience, we could say, could you come to this session and feed in for us maybe? Just a question about how we normally get these things out to the public to try and get interest. I presume there's a pathway.
Yeah, thank you, Jay. I think we obviously utilise our comms channels to sort of the Facebook and the social media channels in the first instance, maybe community notice boards. Sure, if there are any working groups with significant members of public involvement, to be fair, this might be one of the at least the way.
Councillor Tully, then Councillor Stainford.
Yeah. In Westmoreland, they hit every house in both parishes. They put out a leaflet to everyone explaining what they were going to do and asking for help that way, and it worked. They got the results back by, I can't think of it, something monkey, I can't think of what the,
Survey monkey.
yeah, Survey Monkey. It's the only way to do it. Everybody's got to be involved. If they're not, you'll get a lot of people saying, well, they didn't take me interested in what I showed this way, and they won't come and they won't vote for it. Because I can't remember what the percentage is. Is it 10% have got to vote? I can't remember the actual figures.
Thought it was more, but
Councillor Staple.
Yeah, I think the slight difference with the side of the Taunton Town Council is there's a lot of residents that you've got to try and hit, and to post every single house is going to be might not be that easy. But what we could utilise are things like, for example, in Galmington and Cometro, we have the Galmington News, which does get posted in every single house in Galmington. So whether we can try and utilise any other, leaflets or mail shots that are done in any other wards. That's certainly something, because social media is fantastic for those who use social media. But we found, and it was last year, I noticed it so than anything, when we were at Taunton together, a lot of people who didn't know about it, but they said themselves they don't go online. So it's how you target those people that don't, social media users.
Yeah, thank you for that feedback. That's really useful. The only thing I was going to say was about that I haven't mentioned, obviously, is that there is a cost to doing a neighbourhood development plan. The consultant did say that there is grant funding of up to £10,000 on first tranche, and he thinks that we would qualify for the additional support, which could take it to around £18,000 worth of grant support. So obviously we would work with colleagues to try and make sure we match that grant funding when it becomes available. I think they're waiting for the new financial year to know how we can access that. So that would be something we'd need to recommend that we submit a bid for. Over and above that, then we need to find an identified budget from the town council's budget.
Also, I would like to say that obviously I think comms is really important on this, but also I think being ahead of the game and kind of really explaining what a local plan is to people, because I'll be honest, before I was probably a councillor, I wouldn't have had a clue what a local plan was. So actually just really explaining that in in easy terms, and what it will give to local residents and what it will give to the planning sector, and going forward, I think it just gives transparency along the whole way, and then people, the more they know, the more they're willing to help. Well, it's fine. So I think that'd be really important to possibly note on that as well. Is there so on this item, Marcus, I guess it's really to put together a working group, which I'd say from the sound of the room, that sounds great there. And I guess really the ins and outs on inviting it out to more of the council and kind of coming up with a way with comms, getting it out there to ask members of the public who have experience in this role as well. So is that?
Yeah, I think, are you happy also to sort of say that you from the planning committee, it will be councillors Tully and Solé sitting on the working group?
Yeah. So anybody? How
often does it meet? Once a year?
Yeah, I can fit it in between Thursday night and Friday morning.
Councillor.
Sorry, Chair. Just a warning, it's not a 5-minute job.
No,
There's a lot of work to be done.
people who can.
A heck of a lot of work. We were lucky in West Mountain that we managed to have someone from a large we plan to be very careful, I say, construction company helped us. Maybe the chap might help us, I might have a word, but he knew all the ins and outs. but there is a lot of work to be done to do it.
Great, so I think going on some of those points to create a working group, and for myself and Councillor Tully to be part of that working group. And if there is anybody else who wants to join, I think we email out to all councillors and get work comms to send out an invite to members of the public who have experience in this. And I think sometimes inviting people to a working group can sometimes become a bit daunting because it means committing to probably time some people don't have. So I think a way of kind of getting between that invite and their helpfulness, even just being involved in it, would be helpful. Councillor Stainford and then Councillor Tooth.
And just a quick thought, Troll, they have development plan, don't they? One place. So would it be worth also maybe speaking to people within Troll who worked on their plan, but also was speaking to the unitary councillors, especially Dawn Johnson, because obviously she's Troll and could well have been involved in that plan as well. But again, there's no point in reinventing the wheel with these things.
Yeah.
It's trying to find people who have already done it.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, great. So, Councillor Tooth.
Yeah, similar point really. I don't know, I guess we've got a reasonably good relationship with the planning officers at Somerset who probably, how to put this, probably have people that comment and feedback on planning applications quite a lot, and and their knowledge is probably quite good. So we may be able to get names to conjure with an approach. You know, it's just an idea really, because I think, like Councillor Tully said, the more we can get outside support on this, I think, you know, the better it will be. Really.
Just going back to my point about really understanding the impactfulness of having a local plan would be really good for people to understand, whether that's people who've done it or people who haven't, and just members of residents of Taunton. So yeah, there's a few points there, but okay, so could I get a proposer to create a working group, but also for myself and Councillor Tully to join? Yeah, Councillor Tooth, could I get a second, please? Councillor Stainford, could we go to the vote, please? Let's go. Thank you very much. Thank you. Right, the next item is traffic management concerns. To discuss two concerns that have been raised in relation to issues raised by local residents, Mount Street and Hope Corner Lane / Glenwood Gardens.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I think the Hope Corner Lane Glenwood Gardens one, that came about from an email from Councillor Isaacs, who's not here tonight, so I don't know whether he had sent in an email to the residents saying the next planning committee is on Thursday this month here. If you want to come and speak about this, they have elected to do so. Their concern wasn't very specific. It says we've moved to Glenwood Gardens in July 2024. And have really enjoyed being here, apart from one thing: the issues relating to the junction of Glenwood Gardens and Hope Corner Lane with regards to exiting by vehicle or crossing as a pedestrian. And then they requested to talk about the concerns with the councillor. So I don't know whether there's enough information there for you to really do this function.
Seem to be a massive amount of depth in this this issue. I don't know if there's any other comments from anybody else regarding this. Councillor Stainford and then Councillor Tooth.
I actually wouldn't like to comment on it because I don't know enough information. Can't. There's not something that we really don't understand, so I think we need more information. I'd rather be deferred to a later date.
Councillor Tooth.
Yeah, again, similar. In a previous lifetime, I was on Taunton Dean Borough Council for this area. I did have a resident even back then from Glenwood Gardens contact me, and Glenwood Gardens actually walk out. If it's a set, I agree with Councillor Snell. I really can't comment as such, but it is. The road comes out to Hope Corner Lane, and I was asked to get the sort of foliage trimmed back because it's a bit of a blind corner coming out from there, and people approaching the junction. But I agree that we probably need to get more, ask the local councillor to get more information from those residents, but from my point of view, I'd love to hear more.
I agree. Okay. Yeah, I think we need to kind of get some more information on this. Councillor Staple.
Who's the ward councillor for the area? As the
Councillor
looking forward for
Councillor Dunn.
some of the residents in that road. Doesn't look like there's a lot of houses in there, so we need to have to do a few of the residents and get people.
Same page here. Getting some more information. I guess we don't have to vote on anything here.
No.
Just
There's the Mount Street one.
and the Mount Street one as well is okay, go for it.
Just on the Mount Street one that was raised, we had a correspondence from a lady a couple of weeks ago asking for a traffic calming speed review required. So there was a distressing incident. They're concerned about the speed of some of the traffic going up and down the very narrow residential street. I don't know if you know Mount Street, is that one next to Jalalabad Court that's very narrow, no pavement. She said she's got a baby and another on the way, and concerned and anxious about the lack of respect and complete disregard for residents and pedestrians of many drivers every single day on this quiet street. Most properties on this road have front doors that are right on the road, and they live on the side of the road where there's no pavement. They had a situation where she was unlocking her front door, the baby was in the pushchair, but slightly into the road, and a car came speeding down the road. And when they made a hand motion to slow down, they sped up past the person. And they were quite shaken up by this. We obviously went back to them and said, we're not the Highways Authority, and we're not responsible for making the necessary orders to calm and restrict speed. But we copied in relevant officers from Somerset Council. We said, talk to your ward councillors, and we could potentially schedule this for planning, development and licensing to consider, because Somerset always, when there's a request made by a member of the public, they always say, we will not do anything unless your local town council agrees with your view and then passes it to us. So there was a response to the resident from a traffic engineer at Somerset Council saying the speed limit along the road is currently 30 miles an hour. Their speed data says the actual average speed is range between 9 and 13 miles an hour on that stretch. Although they can appreciate that some drivers are or seem to be going faster than this, they are not able to install any repeater signs as this is a street lit area. Department for Transport guidance states that it is deemed a 30 miles limit by a system of street lights, so no additional signs are allowed. And they say, you know, if they had to put up repeater signs within areas that are street lit, then the town would be covered in signage. So if they want, if you want to lower the speed limit, this would be something that the town council would need to fund, and we'd have to ensure that it met DOT criteria and was supported by the police and local community. The police have powers to carry out enforcement of the speed limit, so it may be worth making contact with them if you feel this is an ongoing issue.
Have we had some of the traffic and the temporary cameras that we've got in place to monitor speed? The speed detector. We had one of them in there.
I believe we have. I did see an email request because the resident contacted Councillor Smith Roberts, and she did contact Paul and say about the SIDS on Mount Street, and I believe there was a response from Paul. Let me just see if I can find it.
That would be, for me, that would be the obvious first place to go.
Yeah.
Is put in a SID. I know we've got issues with where they're triggered, that they've got to be an average above 30 miles an hour, which is ridiculous. But what it would do is allow it to gather data to see just what the traffic, but also as we've mentioned before in meetings, quite often where they put the SIDs in place, it slows people down because they see them. So it's not necessarily about putting in signage, it's actually putting in the SIDS.
Yeah.
I think itself helps slow down some of the odd person that's maybe doing that.
Councillor Toops.
On the SID thing, I had a similar couple of residents contact me on Cannon Street because they feel that people go down there too quickly, but the response from the Somerset Council and Paul Allen was two things. One was that the SID, there was only one lamppost, so the SID couldn't be attached to it for some reason, and also that, and I was unaware of this, was that the SIDs are trying to catch or identify people going above the speed limit by a certain amount. And I'm yet to follow this up. I'm still talking to the residents, but my idea for Cannon Street, which I think is seen here, wasn't to see people going over the limit as such. It was to gather data in order to try and build a case for a 20-mile-an-hour zone. Slightly different thing, because on Cannon Street, he's right, Paul, that it's difficult to get so far over 30 for the police to prosecute the driver who's caught, but we're not really looking for prosecutions. I'm not sure if that helps, but you may find, unfortunately, in Mount Street there are difficulties with SIDS, which I didn't realise, but I'm looking for alternatives in Cannon Street. I think, sorry, Chair, to add to that, I think this is very much residents' experience who are there all the time. And if you go down there, you see people like Marcus says driving 9 miles an hour, 13 miles, very sensible. But if you're there all the time living, you get more instances where people are going fast. I'm sure that's helpful.
I'm happy to, I think there was a reply about Mount Street, but there's been some recent uncertainty around SIDS and lampposts. I don't think all can't address the principle of the location yet, but we've had some clarity around lampposts today saying that they can be used. So if it's okay with you all, I'll follow up the ball ground about Cannon Street and Mount Street, and we'll see if we can get them out to the list of locations.
Yeah.
That's great. Councillor Dave, what about Councillor Tully?
Yeah, just a quick thing. I mean, I think on the SIDS, we came up with assets. The problem is it's only the SID, you can't have the SIDs with solar panels on them. They won't go on the lampposts. The ones we've got, the battery operated ones, which is why they can go on the lamppost. So I would think that's probably in there. If we've, you know, in terms of if we're getting extra SIDs, hopefully we should be able to put them into both those streets.
Councillor Tully? Oh, sorry. Yeah, Marcus and Councillor Tully.
Sorry, I was just going to say, yeah, there was a communication a few weeks ago where it said that there had been a change in policy, and we thought that meant that the lamp columns couldn't be used whatsoever for SIDS. So that was a bit of uncertainty. That has since been clarified. So yeah, as you say, we've opted to go for the lightest model of SID with battery operated, which are around 10 kg.
Thank you. SIDs normally work better if on main roads, something like Hamilton Road and that. On smaller roads, they don't tend to work. I'm sorry, Cannon Street is one of the worst because there's parking. There is an answer to that, but I don't think the residents ever like it. Basically, double yellow lines all the way along it. Because the trouble is people pull in, they go there. Am I in the wrong street? No, no. I mean, the trouble is they park both sides, and that normally controls the speed of the traffic. And that's what I think you're going to find county will say.
Not parking on Cannon Street.
I think really going to street what Marcus said about going back to find out about some SIDs, that'd be brilliant.
Yeah, we're Cannon Street.
Do you want to vote?
To do that.
Yeah.
Okay, could we go to the vote on that for Marcus to take that up on those two streets, please? Could I get a proposal, please?
Can I ask one more question, Boss?
Councillor Tuck, yeah.
How many SIDs have we got, Marcus, and are they all being used at the moment?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. We've got 3 currently, and I believe they are being utilised in the originally agreed locations. So that is on Bindon Road, one at the Kingston Road, and one on Stoke Road.
I think so. Yeah, but there's more coming.
Yes, I believe there's to seek to bid for more. using seal funding to get 3 more at least.
So I think another 3.
So I think more grants and a piece of work looking, councillors have been helpful and come forward with a number of suggestions. I think it's 19 further locations which we could look to place them in.
Just make, is it, have you got it on the list?
There
You've got a board meeting.
was one I did speak about, but never got highlighted, so I'll bring it up at another meeting.
Yeah, if you want to drop us, then we can pass it on to
Yeah, that's fine. No worries. Okay, so yeah, could I get a proposal on that then, please? Councillor Stainforth, could I get a second, please? Councillor Twos, could I get a can we go to the vote, please? That's carried, thank you. Item 1 o'clock then, so. Okay, so item number 8, comment on planning application received from the local planning authority. The first item is 8.1, which is 38-25-0029-CB, which is a Class B demolition building application